What's going on, guys? I'm here to review the latest episode of Pokemon Horizons. This episode is titled A Sudden Picnic, and the summary for this episode is just as the Rising Voltacklers are ready to set off for the Galar region where Lico's grandmother is, there are technical difficulties with their airship. So they decide to have a picnic until the system is back up and running. Lico is having fun making sandwiches with the rest of the crew, but can't stop thinking about Dot, who stayed behind on the ship. So, I'm gonna be honest. This episode isn't good, like, at all. This review probably is gonna be pretty short because there isn't really much that happens in this episode. Nor is any of the stuff that does happen. Most of the stuff in this episode isn't good. So like the summary said, they do end up having a picnic because the airship breaks down. So they have this picnic, right? Now the picnic stuff is kind of cute until they go into like a clip show. Like a good chunk of the first half of this episode is literally a clip show, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like it's kind of it feels really forced. Like kind of Lico just starts thinking about stuff, thinks about their journey and all this comes from like a picnic, and it's kind of weird. And none of that stuff is good, right? But then the next half of the episode is Roy. So Roy meets the Wartrol from the next episode. So like, the next episode is called Fly Wartrol. So he meets that Pokemon in this episode, and it feels like they're building up to a catch. So I'm predicting he's probably gonna catch it. That stuff is kind of okay. It's kind of annoying. Like it steals Roy's and Fuecoco's sandwich, and so they're chasing after it. And then in the end, it ends up eating the sandwich. They break it in half at first, but he ends up eating both halves. But he doesn't fly off with his flock. He stays there. So definitely that's obviously leading into next episode. Roy, even at the end of the episode, he ends up going back to it, I'm pretty sure. So that leads up to the next episode. So the other major part of this episode is Lico realizing that, she wants Dot to come to the picnic too. Why is she not coming with them? So she tries to get him out. She tries to get her out the house. Her and Murdoch go in there and make a sandwich for Dot, and all that stuff is cute. An annoying part of this episode though is of course Dot does love the sandwich. He does. Also, it's also revealed Dot's never been to a picnic before and stuff. So when the Needle Thing video for this episode happens, she doesn't know what to say because of course she's never been to a picnic before. So all this stuff happens, and then she they bring the sandwich for her. She does go and eat it, and then she sends a photo of her in her Needle Thing costume to Lico, and she still doesn't realize that Dot is Needle Thing. She doesn't put the pieces together, and I think that's really annoying. It's really annoying that they're kind of dragging this joke out. Like this should have been the episode. When she saw that photo, she should have put two to two together, and I don't know why she didn't. I don't know why this is still going on. It's not funny. It's kind of annoying. It was, kind of funny at first, but it's really dragging it on, and I hope she finds out. Soon. And I know there's one of the upcoming episodes is titled I forget what it's called, but it's a Dot episode, so I hope she finds out, hope she finds out there. But at the end of the episode, we get some setup for the next episode where the explorers come back. They're approaching. They shut off. Dot's trying to what's the name? She's trying to repair the ship, and that's all cut off. And I really do like the cliffhanger line here where she says the ship might never fly again. It's actually a really good cliffhanger. It does make me excited for the next episode. We see the explorers closing in, and I can't wait for that. Next episode looks action-packed, but for this episode, like I said, it's not good. Probably the worst one. Basically because it's really boring. Like nothing really happens. Nothing really of note happens until the end, the last 2 minutes of the episode. So most of this episode just ends up like being boring, just boring fluff. Like, I get what they're trying to do. Like, it's kind of a character development episode. Like, that's probably why we got that little recap to see how far Lico's gone. But that's way too early for that. Like, this is only episode 13. You're not supposed to get recaps until a year after even if they really want to do a recap, that's what they used to do, like, and what they did in like Diamond and Pearl and Advanced and stuff, and even Journeys. None of the Journeys recaps are good. I wouldn't even know because I skipped all of them. So you know, to shove that little forced recap here is definitely the worst part of the episode. It's weird, forced, and just very unnecessary. And the rest of the episode is kind of boring. So this episode it's definitely the worst one, just from the fact that it's not even horrible. It's just boring, and that's really all I have to say about this episode. It's not really much to say. I kind of expected it from the title that this would kind of be like this. And on top of all this, the episode doesn't even look good. I know one scene that really stood out to me is the scene where Roy tries to battle Wattrel, and they have a little screaming match. That part of the episode looks really not good. So that part stood out to me. The rest of the episode kind of just looks meh. The character art is fine, but no interesting movement at all. But like I said, that's where I'll end this review. Like I said, there's not much to say. The episode isn't good. I just hope, and it looks like the coming weeks are really gonna be good. So I mean, one bad episode isn't really. I'm not really losing sleep over it. But yeah, that's all we gotta say about this episode. And I'll see you on the next one.